Needing funds to build their demon dowsing machine, the party heads into town to browse the local job board. Tomoji is immediately drawn to the most dangerous contract available, but cooler heads prevail, and the group instead accepts 2 jobs, one from the Chimera's Professor Lucy to recover 3 escaped magical creatures, and another to gather rare materials from a nearby mine. The party decides to tackle Lucy's request first, stopping by the university stables to receive more information. Lucy provides Suki with a magically expandable cage capable of holding all 3 creatures, warning that they will likely need to be subdued before they can be captured. Following her directions, the party travels to the coast in search of the missing creatures, a shroomkin and 2 cursed pumpkins. Leo attempts to use his feral speech to peacefully negotiate with them, but the creatures prove too hungry to listen. After a brief fight, the party weakens the creatures enough to successfully capture all 3 inside the cage before returning them to campus. Lucy rewards the group for completing the job, while Leo stays behind to help clean the stables in exchange for some extra credit. And some manure, if I recall. Rather than returning with the others, Tomoji decides to spend the night camping near the coast. While there, he speaks to his deceased master and investigates the mysterious bag that had been left to him. Although the bag appears empty, he discovers that its interior is far larger than it should be. Stranger still, it refuses to accept ordinary objects, seemingly allowing only living creatures to be placed inside. Back on campus, everyone settles into their own evening routines. Hattori immediately takes a shower to wash off the pumpkin vomit left over from the fight. Suki returns to her dorm to discover that Maya's belongings have finally been cleared away, leaving the room feeling painfully empty. Missing home and mourning her friend, she spends some quiet time cuddling Cloud. Meanwhile, Leo pays Victor's room another visit, decorating it with a combination of stable refuse and leftover pumpkin puke. The following day, several members of the party attend their respective classes before setting out on their next job. Hattori trains in marksmanship with Professor Pearl. Leo attends Darkblade class with Professor Rexana. And Soma studies symbolism under Professor Valen. Once classes conclude, the party reunite and travels toward the nearby mines, meeting up with Tomoji, who had already made his way there, alone, ready to begin their next expedition. And while you're in front of the entryway to the mines, you do see there are a lot of warning signs, danger, keep out, do not enter, things like that, and, an abandoned shaft and mining equipment. What would you like to do?
I think as a neophyte reader, as Tomoji walks by the signs, he just kind of scrapes his claws across them and keeps walking, doesn't pay any attention.
I think Hattori would turn toward the others and say, "This one looks dangerous. Maybe we should get another job. Let's go back."
I thought we were just grabbing rocks off the ground. How dangerous could that be?
I feel like Soma would argue for staying. Apologies. I feel like Soma would argue for staying, as he was very eager to get those materials.
Yeah, I would say Soma would probably point out, that the battery only needs a few more rare metals to be fully operational, and they're just right down there. Plus, Mogura can help, and he'd probably lift up Mogura. He's specifically designed for digging out rare metals. This will be a piece of cake.
Yeah, and we can always retreat if it proves to be too dangerous.
I think Tomoji's probably already gone. Cats need no introduction to hiding places.
All right.
Cloud probably would have been right at your side.
Makes sense.
All right then. I guess just be careful, everyone.
into the mines you all enter. The opening here does have a few flickering lights that have been left on, swaying ominously in the wind, but further you go, darker it is, as they obviously stopped providing power to the rest of the mines. So
how difficult would it have been to detach one of the flickering lanterns that's up there? Could I have grabbed one off of the wall?
Yeah, sure. I don't think there'd be any roll for that. You could easily just, you'd have to get like a little pocket knife and just cut off part of it. And
yeah, I got my sword if I need it.
Yeah. So easy enough. You can grab a lantern, and now you have an ominously flickering lantern you can take with you. And as you are entering these mines, you see obviously this opening space. There's a path to the left, a path to the right, and a path straight ahead.
Did
Soma.
Tamoji run ahead?
I would say broadly, he's not a particularly decisive character. He's more just curious, as that's his theme. So if he came to a situation where there was like a fork in the road, basically, much like a cat, anything that would immediately be of interest or shiny or alluring in any way would probably immediately draw his attention, and he'd go that way.
How far ahead of us do you think you are? You think you're within like a movement, like in a turn? Are you like 2 turns ahead of us?
Just however long natural walking would have put me in front of the group while, there was still some discussion about how to move forward. So, I mean, maybe 20, 30, 40 feet tops.
I'm just curious if we would see you take a different path, or if we would be coming up behind you and not know which path you took, is kind of what I'm trying to figure out.
I would definitely say it'd be easy to see me. I'm not trying to hide, for sure.
Yeah, I think you definitely do see he's sort of curved a little bit down the right side path, as there's a little glint that he caught his ADD cat attention.
Yeah, and I mean, he's probably literally skipping. He's not being quiet either, so probably not too hard to figure out. If you've ever seen a cat chase a laser pointer, it's not really a stealthy process.
Sorry, Indigo, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, that answers my question, so we are good. I guess we'll just follow down that right path where we saw Tamoji go.
Alright, as you guys curve around the right, you see it sort of opens up into a little bit of a broader space, but there is another little tunnel that leads further on and curves around to the side. But what caught Tamoji's attention was that there are some discarded mining equipment here, and it flickered off of the light, especially now that Leo's entering with the lantern. The light just kind of is bouncing a little off of the old dusty metal of pickaxes and discarded hammers and that sort of thing. And yeah.
Yeah, you probably walk up to that area, and Tamoji's just kind of bending over, looking at it nope, and then just starts skipping along.
I think if we're not all gathered together, but I think closer together than we have been, I think I'd probably take this time to look over at Soma and just be like, so you said Mogura's good at digging out different materials. In what way? Should we follow Mogura's lead?
Absolutely. I think Tamoji would be, like any tinkerer, excited to show off his invention. Mogura is literally a mole. It has it's kind of mostly blind, but it has really sensitive smell and digging apparatus in its nose and stuff, at least from the picture that Amarin was explaining to me. So I definitely say that regardless of where Tamoji goes, I would say that that Mogura would probably be put on the ground, its little, windy things wound up and its, nose dusted off and everything that it would need to do to find the ore that it's looking for.
Yeah, I'd like a double insight from Mogura. I can speak.
Sounds good. That is a resounding 8.
That is perfect. So Mogura seems to stumble around. Well, not stumble. I imagine it kind of does a little sniffy, just kind of scurrying back and forth and sort of going around this room. But at the moment, it seems like he or it.
I think Mogura's probably ascribed male.
Okay, he can't seem to pick up any sense, at least not here. In the meantime, as Tomoji is leaving your guys' vision, continuing down the hall, I would like Tomoji to also make me a double insight.
All right.
Cloud has been sticking, by him, by the way.
If you would like to add Cloud into that, you can have Cloud make insights as well.
An 11 with a 7 and a 4. So while Tomoji is, perfectly comfortable being underground as he likes rocks, he's skipping around like, there's no immediate danger or threats to him in the world. He is genuinely looking around for shiny rock.
Mm-hmm.
He just wasn't interested in digging equipment.
What did Cloud get?
Cloud got an 8.
Okay. So, Tomoji, as you're skipping along, having a fun time, you don't necessarily see the metal that everyone's looking for, but you do see this really cool-looking rock with a lot of, striations and colors. As you bend down to pick it up, you're like, wow, this is awesome, but there's something kind of sticky and it pulls off this webbing that was on it. And then you notice there's a lot of spider webs around this area, and it seems like they start thickening up the further you're going down this path.
Cats highly dislike sticky things, so I think Tomoji would immediately scream like he's in horrible pain. like writhing on the ground like he's being electrocuted.
Everyone, you hear Tomoji suddenly in pain.
Just absolute demon howl of pain.
As his voice echoes throughout the caverns.
Oh no, he must be attacked by something, and he'll run.
Same.
I assume Leo runs along too.
He's just sighing and shaking his head and then pulling his sword out from behind his back and running up.
Alright, you all come across Tomoji just kind of... I imagine he's trying to shake the webbing off, but it's just not getting off his hands because you know how it sticks.
And I picture bouncing off of different walls too.
I tried to wipe it off on Cloud, and now I'm stuck to Cloud, and Cloud has it all over his face.
Oh no, she's growling at you.
Or she's right, yeah. She's not happy with the sticky web. Otherwise, he's not hurt at all. He just really doesn't like yucky things touching him. It's emotional damage. But yes, I assume that the webs then would become apparent as everyone.
Yes, definitely. And you all, especially now with the lantern here, you can kind of see that it is thickening more and more the further down you go in this direction.
Anybody got any torches or oil?
Well, we can use our inventory points. Let me see.
I would say I'm pretty sure torch is just standard equipment, so I don't think you have choose. Yeah, inventory points are more for like, potions and utility stuff. But for basic things like a torch, you're adventurer, so you knew you were coming to a mines. I mean, Leo's holding a lantern right now. You got a torch you could light up.
All right, cool.
I do look to the two kind of engineers and see if they have any oil, like for lubrication needs for their metal pieces or something, like, I don't know.
I think Hattori would definitely carry some oil. I don't think he would carry a torch because he's not really a outdoors adventurer type of person. So he'll give you like some oil if you need it.
Oh yeah, I'm throwing oil onto the webs closest to us and then trying to light them on fire and see if I can burn a path in front of us, or if it's like, just see how effective this is, like if this is something that we could just light down and like burn up the hallway, or if we just need to go a section at a time. Probably not going to invest too much in it in section at a time, but just see what he can do to clear it.
Yeah, so you put a little bit of oil and use your lantern or torch or whatever you want to get it going, and basically it does seem to start burning up some of the webs a lot where you obviously put the oil, and then it slows a little bit but continues to burn inside, and as you do, it just lights up this cavern up ahead as it was so massively thick and all over, like strands everywhere in this larger cavern, and you hear a shriek as I'd like everybody to roll initiative. As, I guess not a shriek, I don't know. Whatever a very angry spider sound would be.
Hissing, maybe?
Yeah. To remind everybody, initiative is, a group check, so choose a leader.
Oh, my bad. I already reached.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, Timoji's pouting and huffing probably in front of Suki, who's, he's asking her, like, get us out of me. So I don't think he's in a emotional state to lead anything. I assume Leo, since he was the one throwing the fire, maybe.
I think so as well. He also just kind of seems to be our combat starter.
Yeah.
I don't start shit all the time.
All right, Leo. What did you get on your initiative?
I got a 6.
Love that.
I imagine Soma's probably busy tending to Mogura, following him around. So probably wasn't paying attention to the webs as much as anybody else.
Timoji and Hattori, you guys gave him enough to push past the initiative modifier of the monster anyway, so the group takes the turn first.
Nice.
Who would like to go first?
So we hear a loud shriek, but does it like come into the light? Can we see it?
You do see a few large shadows moving and scurrying in the fire, and it seems like they're starting to head towards. And by the way, it's not like a raging inferno. Like, it's the fire that started near you guys, besides where the oil was. I think that would still be burning, but the rest of it, like, once the webbing is burnt away, like, the fire's moved ahead, So it's not continuing. So you don't have to worry about burning yourself if you needed to move forward, basically. So who would like to go first?
I suppose I can if nobody else has got really anything. I think for Leo, he's kind of looking down this hallway. He doesn't see anything quite yet, right?
Again, just shadows kind of moving around, but if you wanted to enter into it, that...
Not necessarily, no.
Yeah.
he's he's still a little kid. So I think if anything, he's like probably pulling out his sword and shouting down the hallway in his like feral speech. Like I don't know if you need to see like the creature just like talk in its language, but he's just trying to use his feral speech to communicate with if this is a beast or a monster of some sort. Just like, stay back, I don't want to hurt you. I will hurt you if you come over here, though.
All right. That's it then? You're just gonna wait?
I've got my sword drawn. I'm trying to like probably take cover around another rock on the other side of the like not other side of the hallway, but like if I can try and hide here, not stealthily, but like if they come through, I want to be able to like stab them in the back. You know what I mean?
Sure. All right. So then that'll take us to their turn, and yeah, one of them starts scurrying through, and you see a very, very inhumanly large spider scurry into this hallway, and basically it's shouting like the ones that can understand beasts, so Suki and Leo, especially after what Leo said, is just like, kill them for burning our home, and it's gonna come through, and I think I'll let Leo have his attack on that, but in turn it's going to attack you too, so Leo, you can roll to hit, and
yeah, that's a 10 to hit.
It meets it, beats it, so you do hit.
So that's 16, 17?
Okay. It rolled a 7. Did that hit?
9.
Yeah, okay. So as you stabbed up to slash, it turned, and its like large mandible fangs dripping with poison, tried to bite at you, but you managed to kind of like duck underneath and stab up to its side. And you did how much? 17?
17 damage.
Okay. Alright, so that was Leo's turn, then their turn. Now it is the party's turn. Again, who would like to go next?
I would like to go next, if that's fine with everyone.
Yeah.
How many of the baddies do we see?
Right now you see one, but you do see other scurrying shadows in the large inferno room.
Okay. Oh, that's interesting. How do like targeting creatures like that work? Like, because I don't know if it's not as like clear, I guess, as in D&D. It's like 3 creatures you can see.
Yeah, so I'd say if you wanted to try to see the others, you'd have to go into that big room. Again, the fire has moved up, so there is safety in going. I'm not going to have you burn to death by entering it. It's just you'll be standing in that larger room.
Okay, that's fine. I'll move up there so that way I can see exactly all of them, so I can target them.
You see 3 more as they are jumping and sort of like coming away from the massive webbing that is burning alive, and they seem to all be starting to head towards that entryway. It's just that they didn't have a chance yet.
Okay. So I'm gonna cast Torpor. I hate saying this. I'm gonna change the name of it so I don't have to say it. And I'm gonna inflict weak on 3 of them. So I'll do the one that is already kind of attacking Leo, and then I'll just do, I don't know, the 2 in front that are coming this way.
I'll just do that. Okay, weak. And weak lowers their dex dice down, is it?
Yes. No, it's their might. Sorry.
Might.
But I actually have to roll. We've been doing this wrong. Or I've been doing it wrong. So let me do that. I just got a 5.
5.
So I don't really know. Yeah, because it's an offensive spell, so I'm supposed to roll a magic check. I don't really know if that means that they have to, like, do something or what.
It would be
It would
against
go
their magic
after
defense.
their magic defense,
yeah.
So, unfortunately, the 5 will not do, and they resist.
All right.
All right. That is Suki's turn. That'll bring us to the spiders. Another one in the room, since Suki just so nicely waltzed in here for them. They will take a bite at her. Rolling right. Nope, that's too high. There we go. I don't think a 6 hits.
No.
So again, one like lunged at you as you attempted to, and little fangs tried to bite, but you jump back out of the way, and that will be the party's turn again.
So I think Soma can jump in here. Finally wrangling Mogura together. We're going to try to do something fun with Mogura. So Mogura has, I think, a new ability called Drill Ball. So basically, Soma's going to say, "Go get him, Mogura. Show those spiders they can't keep that metal from us." And Mogura will, like, kind of like armadillos do, like he's gonna fold into a little ball and start like rolling into the main room. So what it says here is when it does the drill ball, it uses the guard action. So it's gonna roll into the room in a ball and use the guard action, and it says it grants immunity to physical damage until the start of its next turn. So while in its little like rolly ball, it rolls into the room and just guards itself. And then next turn, if I use the drill ball ability, it's an attack, but it actually will do 5 extra damage because it's in like a little drill ball form. So it's like rolling down at high speed, looking to slam into something. But for this particular term, Soma will just command Mogura to roll into the room and use the guard action.
While guarding, Mogura can choose to provide cover to another creature, which prevents foes from melee attacking against them. Would Mogura like to do that with anybody?
Yeah, because Tomoji's going to run into the room too. Tomoji's pissed, so he's about to cause some flame on. We're going Human Torch here. So I would say he could also guard Tomoji as he rolls in.
All right. So he will cover.
And that's Soma and Mogura.
That will bring us to the spiders again. One of them will spit at Suki. Does a 13 hit? Defend, physical.
Yeah.
Okay, you will take 15 physical damage, and you have the slow effect on you, as it shoots out a little web bomb out of its butt. Which status affects slow, I believe. That's the one that lowers your dex size, yeah. So your dexterity is lowered by 1, which could affect your defense, so keep that in mind. Alright. Party! We still have Tomoji and Hattori.
Tomoji was running inland. I don't know if you want to take your shot while he's traversing, or if you want...
Hattori was cowering in fear because of spiders, so go ahead, take your turn.
All right, sounds good. Let's see here. So, Tomoji after getting as much of the yucky stuff off of him as he could or solicit help for, he does not like the sticky stuff all over the walls. So as he was running in after Mogura, he's going to say, get all this yucky stuff out of here. And he's going to cast Fulgor, which is the AoE fire spell. So kind of like you guys saw him in the magical garden arena. Basically, little cat starts like floating up and hovering above the ground, and basically turns into a giant little cat fireball. So it says, what's up?
Isn't?
Oh, did I do lightning before?
I think
I just think Fulgur is the word for lightning.
I think Ignis is the one
Oh,
that's
you're
for
right.
fire.
You know what? Yeah, you're right.
If you took the
I
wrong
was looking
spell,
over.
I would let you like alter that because I know you flavored it as fire before. So
Yeah, so I have 5 spells. 4 of them are exactly the same. It's the 3 target AoE, just different damage. So I have ice, fire, earth, or electric to pick from. So functionally, they're all the same.
So,
but yeah, Fulgur was the first one on the list, so I misread that. It is, in fact, Ignis. Thank you, Lynn. So in this case, it says up to 3 targets, but I think he's just going to be blasting fire in every direction. I'm not really trying to hit spiders so much as I am trying to burn away webs and maybe like limit their movement or, remove the impediment to our movement. So I'll do for all 3 targets, which will cost me 30 mana. And that is a magic check, which I will roll now. So that is a 9.
okay.
For the 6 and the 3, and then if they get hit, they take 21 fire and become shaken. Although, like I said, I'm not necessarily trying to hit spiders. If one gets hit incidentally, that's fine. But mostly I'm trying to burn away the yucky, sticky webs that make my whiskers into one whisker. I look
That
like
is
I have a
enough to
mustache.
hit all any 3 of the spiders you want. Did you? I feel like you're not hitting the one that ran out to attack Leo because you're just coming in to explode into this room. So it's probably those other 3.
Okay.
And what was the damage again?
It is 21 fire damage. I did not get an opportunity, so they're not shaken. But 21 base fire damage, and I will update my mana.
All right,
So
and
yes,
that definitely
Tomoji
does
runs in
help.
and explode.
Just for the flavor of it, and the webbing's burning away anyway, you add more fire to that, and it just kind of blows up more, and you see like a lot of the webbing is starting to, which this room was thick with webs for obvious reasons. This is where they lived, so and some like they had some like wrapped up sacks of stuff that start flaring even more, and it's all pretty much burning away, but you also deal damage to these spitters.
And that's Tomoji.
That is Tomoji's. So that will bring us back to the last spider, who is very unhappy about that. It would leap over to jump and bite at Tomoji, but because Megura is giving it cover, it instead has to attack Megura. I would assume an 11 hits Megura.
I'm checking its equipment.
Should be wherever the defense is.
So it's not considered to have armor. Defense 8. There we go.
Yeah, that'll hit. So that was high roll plus 5. It's 13 13 poison damage.
13 poison. So it has 22.
And normally the target would suffer weak, but since Megura is kind of a created...
Mechanical.
mechanical thing, I will say that it won't suffer weak in this case.
Gotcha. It is in crisis now, though, as it's not a particularly burly little thing.
Oh, baby. This is not a great place for you to jump up. But okay.
So definitely
in
some
crisis.
springs and bolts and nuts flying off Magura in every direction.
Yeah, it was... The fangs did a really good chomp. And that will be back to the party. Where did my pencil go? There it is. So all we have left is Hattori.
Yep. I think this whole time he was kind of just in the corner saying, "No, not spiders, get them away." And then he'll just rapidly stuff a bunch of rocks into his gun and start blind firing. And he'll probably do a barrage on 2 of them. I guess the ones that attacked Suki and Magora?
Yeah, there's the one that attacked Leo. There's 2 that attacked Suki and 1 that attacked Tomoji but hit Magora.
Okay. I think Leo's doing fine so far, so yeah, he'll just attack the 2 on the others. That's not rolling. Oh, it's the accuracy button.
18 definitely hits.
Okay. That's
And 10
20
physical.
for both of them, I think.
20?
Yeah.
Yeah, he rolled like max damage.
Okay. Well, they're both in crisis. So that really...
The rock just pelted them straight in and their face and probably took out like 3 of their eyeballs each.
Yeah.
Nice.
I love that. It popped and exploded in viscera and blood. You are in an inconvenient spot. I want you to know that. Okay, so that was Hattori. I assume you're staying back and not going closer to the spiders of doom.
You would like to stay as far as possible.
That'll bring us to the top of the round, so everyone can start over. And who would like to go first?
Somebody else has got me. I think for Leo, he wants to. I think right now it's just Leo, the spider, and Hattori in one side of or one room, and then on the other room it's all of the other spiders and everybody else. Correct?
Yeah, there's 3 spiders in the room, and then 1 that's kind of more out in the entrance next to you.
Cool. So with the one that's like out in the entrance and like close to me, I would like to try and climb onto its back so it can't get me with its little like mandibles and try and like stab it in the back of the head.
Alright, roll
Spider
me.
Rider.
13,
A 13 will do it.
and that's going to be 19 damage.
Get a calculator to subtract that. It is also now in crisis.
Do you need any sort of roll for me getting onto its back?
Oh, you really want... Okay. For flavor, I'd let you do that, but if you want to actually get some benefits to being on it, like not being able to be attacked, yeah, I'll say make me a Dex plus Might.
That's 6 and 3, 9.
So you could jump... Oh my... Ow! Fuck. Okay.
Ouchie. The cat was mimicking Leo's attack and said, I'm going to jump on Mom like Leo's jumping on the spider. This is how you do it. Claws first.
And her success, which was falling like an idiot and knocking everything over, is about what happened to Leo. No. You did jump up to do the attack, but you definitely don't have stable footing up here, so it'll definitely be able to kind of knock you off and take a bite. You're not going to suffer like, penalty for being on your butt or anything, because this game doesn't have that, but I'm just saying, like, you don't get a benefit for it. However, I will not take away the cool factor of jumping up and stabbing down.
It was worth it to try.
Yeah. Oh, she clawed my knee up pretty good. Okay. Love that. My big bad boss sheets are all over the place now and out of order, so... That was Leo, and you know what, we'll just move on to that spider that you are riding on, and that's kind of what happened. You stabbed down, but then it knocked you off into the wall there, and turns to try to bite you again, so... Does a 14 hit ya?
Shield. No. Yeah, it does.
You take 12 poison damage and suffer weak. Oh, actually, this is vulnerable to fire, too, so they would have taken double damage from Tomoji.
Wow.
Do you remember what your damage was, Tomoji?
21 fire.
21. So they would have taken 42.
That'll teach him for putting sticky stuff on my rocks.
Oh, my knee. You hurt me so bad. Alright, the one that attacks Leo went. And that brings us back to the party.
I think Suki can go again.
Alright.
And by Suki, I mean Cloud. I think Cloud is gonna run in there, and probably whichever one has kind of been hitting me, she will do a vicious bite. So that is 9 to hit.
Unfortunately, a 9 will miss.
Alright.
As it scurries back away from Cloud. Too many legs and mandibles. Alright, that brings us back to that one that attacked Suki is probably going to attack Cloud now because it came up to bite. Does a 9 hit Cloud?
No, it doesn't.
So they both miss little bite attacks on each other. That brings us back to the party. Tomoji, Hattori, and Soma.
I think Mogura is doing its little zoomy ball attack. So I think we can probably say that if there happens to be one of the spiders in the room that it bumps into, it will attempt to do its drill ball.
Yep, roll.
So
me
this
that
is
attack.
going to be a Dex versus Might against one of the spiders it hits, and if it happens to hit, it'll do a little extra damage. So that is a 8 to attack, 5 and 3.
Unfortunately, an 8 will not do it. So as it rolls up, as Magora rolls up to try to hit one of these, they also jump a little bit out of the way. Or lift a couple of its legs.
He'll like smack into the wall and like shake his head and like look around and be like, huh? What? Where'd they go? But that is his attack.
Alright, so that was Soma. I hate to do this in the middle of a battle and a little bit early into it, but I am now bleeding all over myself, so let's take like 5 minutes so I can go tend to these wounds and yeah.
Critical hit.
And with that, it takes us to, I believe, the party now. So, Tomoji and Hattori are left to go.
Tomoji shot first last time, so I can go again. So even if there probably aren't a lot of spiders around, I think that Tomoji will probably not be fully satisfied until there are definitely no sticky webs around. So I think we're just going to explode into a fireball again. I would say that anybody witnessing this, again, it's probably a little alarming that the goofy, curious, sometimes lazy cat is an absolute font of magic. I mean, to just repeatedly cast this level of like massive AoE barrage, you realize that he either has had to have had some natural talent or proclivity for elemental magic, or he's got some very, very advanced training, because these AoE spells take an exceptional amount of mana to constantly cast like this. So I'm going to go for Ignis again. That is going to be a 19, which is a 9 and a 10. And that is going to be 25 fire damage to 3 targets. And I will deduct another 30 mana.
There are 2 extremely hurt spiders and 2 hurt but not extremely hurt spiders. What of the 3 are you going for, I guess?
Tactically, I would say, obviously try to take out whole spiders just to prevent retaliation. But again, I feel like Tomoji's really targeting webs, so I would say that the damage would just go to the 3 closest to Tomoji.
The 3 in here. All right, so the one with Leo outside is still with Leo outside. You do hit them. What was the damage you do?
25 fire damage.
How do you want to explode these 3 spiders?
I feel like, it's kind of incidental. I mean, I think he's blasting away webs, anything sticky, anything scary. I think the spiders probably just get caught up in, like, the falling webs and, maybe, like, they're falling from the roof or they're, getting stuck behind boulders that they can't get out of. But, yeah, I mean, Tomoji is definitely only accidentally taking spiders out. But chances are, with as much fire magic as he's conjuring, they're probably going to be pretty crispy by the time they hit the ground.
All right. Due to how hurt the other 2 were, I think they just eviscerate into ash from the intense fire and heat. The other one kind of just crumbles into this big charred, or I guess it flips upside down and does the big charred mass of blackened spider. Normally a spider would have taken its turn now, but since they're dead, Hattori, what would you like to do? You see this explosion, further into this cavern that just erupts and obliterates those spiders within. The only one left now is this one facing Leo and you, kind of.
Well, I guess he'll just say, "Oh, looks like they're all gone, except for that one," and he'll pop the last one, or try to.
Roll me that attack.
Nine.
Unfortunately, a 9 won't hit it. It kind of skitters out of the way once its multiple eyeballs notice that you are pointing your weapon at it. But that'll bring us to...
He didn't stuff his... I forgot what it's called. He didn't stuff the chamber this time, so that's why.
Yeah, exactly. You didn't do your lucky rock attack.
Classic mistake.
Right. That brings us to the top of the round, though, so the party takes the lead. Who would like to go first?
Did Soma go last time? I feel like they've only had 1 turn, but...
No, Soma
the
went.
first one was Mogura going in and guarding, and then the second one, Mogura tried to attack a spider but bounced off the wall.
Oh, okay. I don't remember that for some reason.
Yeah, it missed. But yeah, Soma is largely just, standing there calling out commands to Mogura as it zips around as a little spiky ball.
So who would like
Leo,
to take
I think you're battling the spider if you just want to try to finish it off first.
Yeah, I think we're 1-on-1 at this point, right?
Yeah.
It's a 5 and a 6 for an 11. Sorry, yeah, 11 to hit.
11 just hits.
Right. So that's going to be 17 damage.
17 damage. It's still up.
Kind of stab and slice at it. And
It is looking really, really rough. As I'd like to imagine that you cut some of its legs off as it's scurrying about, and it hisses and clackers. Which, you could understand. Death! Kill! Death! It will take its turn to try to attack you again. It doesn't seem to realize that all of its family is dead now. Does a 12 hit you? Alright, that is, math, 12 points of damage. And poison damage, and you would be weakened, but you're already weak. Alright.
now, mechanically, does that reduce my might die further, or is
No,
it
it's just
a
the
once per turn
Yeah,
thing? Cool. Just wanted to make sure.
Yeah, you don't
it says nothing
stack
can
it.
go under a d6. Also, there's a floor.
And that is its turn, so now it's anybody in the party. Everybody left in the party.
Cloud can go next.
Sure.
She'll probably just run up, and while the spider is like facing Leo, she'll try to like take out one of its back legs.
Very wolf-like.
No, she doesn't do anything.
Oh no!
Let's not talk about it.
Oh no!
If it was double ones, that's a fumble.
It wasn't.
Okay, good.
It's a 2 and a 1.
So close. Went for a back leg and found out that there are many of them.
Yes. Too many to pick. She
Too
got
many back
confused. Alright, that's Suki. We've got everybody else.
We can say that Mogura will run over and try to take a swipe, using the distraction that Cloud caused as a tandem, like wolf hunting pack tactic. Definitely saving Cloud's honor. We'll go for a slash attack. That didn't actually roll anything.
Yeah, I think you have to hit the
yeah,
accuracy.
you're right. I hit the wrong one. My bad. All right, that is an 11.
And an 11 hits.
And that is 12 physical damage.
How does Mogura want to do this?
I would say Mogura is going to I don't know, just like I imagine like Cloud goes in and like tries to snap, and maybe the spider stumbles a little, and Mogura is just gonna like jump on its back, and like its little mechanical claws just like start like digging at it. Like if you've ever seen like a dog like try to dig in the dirt, because it's just a digging creature, so it's just and just starts ripping up the spider to pieces, like trying to burrow inside of it. And then when it's done, it just lets out a little mechanical meh, like it won.
I like that. All right. And with that, all the spiders are dead, and the fire finally burns all the webbing away, and you are kind of left in the dark, save for one little flickering lantern that I'd like to imagine Leo had to sort of drop to the side, so little ominously flickering shadows elongate the area. You do see in some of those sacks that got burned away, that some items fell from them. A few of them got damaged in the fire, so there is that. But if you want to explore what they are, otherwise, I will tell you.
I think Timoji will walk back up to the group, and he's just like, his robe and his fur are like singed, and there's still a little bit of the sticky spider webs, and he's only got like one whisker over here, and he's just totally disheveled, and he's like panting, like he says, "Don't worry, everybody, I got rid of all the sticky stuff. Won't get in anybody's fur. I think we're good now." And he just kind of like turns and like, like that was exhausting, and then just like starts stomping off again. Oblivious to the fact that there were spiders. He want to let everybody know that he got the sticky stuff off of the rocks, and you're good to go now. It won't get in your fur.
I think Leo's probably taking a moment here to like, I'm not really sure how the inventory points work, but he'd like to use one to try, or I guess 3 to try and get remedy.
Yeah, you just subtract the cost
Cool.
of what you've got, and then you have remedy.
Right, so I think he's going to use that for himself and kind of heal up just a little bit. And after he's done like drinking that, he's probably looking around the room and trying to see what he can salvage from in here.
As you look around to some of those sacks that popped, you see a couple of items that look like they got burned and charred away, unfortunately, but you also find a couple of items that survived the fire. One is you'd have to clean it off, but so it kind of looks blackened at the moment, a pistol, which if you go to the page 130 of the book, you can get the stats of the pistol. And you also find a travel garb, which is on the page after that.
These guys aren't rocks. Anybody want these?
There are also a couple of the ores that you're looking, just a couple of chunks of them, not too many. One thing, Suki, you would notice as you're sort of looking around, mainly from the spider that Leo killed, since it wasn't burned to a fucking crisp, and you can still see its body. Part of its bulbous stomach body area there has this sort of rot that was spreading on it that looks very familiar to the reason you're kind of here studying in the school, the reason you had to leave your home.
Interesting. I think even though it's really gross, I think Suki might just stuff. How big is the spider? Is it like,
It's like a big dog, like a little bit. I imagined it's a little bit bigger than Cloud.
Okay. If I can maybe just have an empty bottle. I actually just made a potion as well, so I'll probably just take the empty bottle from that. Yeah. And then try to scrape some of the rot into it and put it in my bag.
Nice.
Otherwise, does anyone answer Leo as he's holding up a pistol and a travel garb?
I do think that Soma would probably jump on the opportunity to take a pistol. I think that he's been really impressed with Hitori's use of a firearm, and as a fellow tinkerer, the mechanics of it are interesting. Also, Soma only has a dagger, so doesn't really have any ranged combat capability. I think that would be a good fit.
Perfect. So yeah, Soma can have a pistol. And then travel garb is a defensive item that gives you a dex size +1 and an insight size +1, but -1 to initiative.
Soma already has travel garb. Timoji has wizard robes, so I don't think it might just be something we end up selling.
No one else wants it?
I don't think Hitori was interested in either of them.
Yeah.
Okay. someone can put in their inventory that they got a spare travel garment.
I guess, Leo, you could probably just hang on to it for now.
Yeah, I'll put it in my bag.
Sell it later.
Buddy. You can't.
Kitty!
I'm not having another...
Question.
Yes?
So I was slowed during that combat. Does that go away?
Oh yeah, it would last the scene. I'd say the battle was the scene, so I think you guys could take a couple of minutes to sort of, you got your potions out and you're sort of licking your wounds kind of a thing, and you feel that weakness between Leo and the slow that Suki had starts fading away. As Tomoji's stomping away, does anyone try to stop him or just let him go forward again?
I mean, I guess we can keep going forward.
I think Hattori is waiting for Soma to redeploy Mogu so that it could start scanning for ores or whatever it does.
Yeah, I would say that Soma probably would do a little bit of minor tinkering just to, straighten out any bent antenna or anything on Mogura, but get Mogura back to work pretty quick. And I'm sure it's happy to get back to its primary function, as it is not necessarily a combat bot.
Yeah. I would say Soma could spend 3 inventory points to... rather than be like a potion of a remedy, it'd be like, tinkering to fix it, like getting, supplies out to fix up Mogura, just flavored
Sounds
that
good.
way. So Mogura can be healed up too.
Sounds good.
In the meantime, I guess, Tomoji, as you are going back to the main room, you would see the entrance is now to your left. There's a path forward and a path to your right.
Do they look the same, or
You see the path...
is one more interesting?
The path to your right seems to curve off, and you can't tell where that's going, or what that could entail, but the one forward looks like it opens to a larger room.
Yeah, as Tomoji's probably still like putting out small fires in his fur, or maybe like sticking a finger through a hole in his robe and looking at it like, he's probably not paying attention. So just the easier open path is where he'd just meander to as he makes his way around. It's not even looking at rocks at this point. He's still just upset at how disheveled he is.
Alright, you see there's a few more like racks of some old mining tools that got abandoned. A lot of it's been fallen over, so, pickaxes, shovels, hammers, that sort of thing. Some rotten wood. Horrible smell of some rotten food that was left out on the table, but depending on how investigatory you want to be in here, we'll continue from there.
Nah, Tomoji is not paying attention to his environment. He's worried about the robe, and he probably does drink a potion just to tap off his mana. But otherwise, he probably is going to linger around. He had Cloud with him, so until she catches back up, he probably wouldn't wander too far off.
Yeah, I think if you got out of sight from us, that Cloud would definitely kind of sniff your trail out and catch up to you.
Yeah, so if Cloud is investigating this room at all, Tomoji's probably just going to linger.
Mm-hmm.
And work on grooming,
Cloud will check it out.
Sure, let's have Cloud roll double insight.
Alright. Not bad. 9.
Alright. Definitely, I think the smell of that rotten food gets to Cloud a lot. It's just so, bleh, There are a few papers scattered about near that table, and, that I don't think Cloud could, read them, but would think maybe Suki might be interested in some of this, depending, so probably just kind of pause them into a nice little pile until you guys all get there.
Yeah.
Which eventually, I'm sure after you guys all patch up and feel better and healed and topped off, you start realizing Tomoji and Cloud have been gone for a few minutes and quickly go chase after them.
Yeah, before he leaves, Leo's shoving like those few rocks that he did find and think were worth keeping into his bag as well, but just kind of keeping up with the group and taking probably the rear.
And in which case, you would eventually find this larger room that Tomoji has found himself in and is cleaning himself in.
I'll check out the pile of papers that Cloud is probably pawed to show me what they be.
As you glance through, most of it is just the basic old goings on of the mine, so what they found, what tunnels are going through, all of that stuff that you're just kind of flipping through, but near the end is a little entry of they start talking about this strange corruption that seems to have emerged the deeper into the tunnels they go. It started simple, that it would start infecting some of the animals around there, although at the time it was a lot more clear and a lot less abandoned, so they weren't giant spiders roaming around as much. But they have those birds that they carry in the mines to check for oxygen levels and gas leaks and stuff like that. They had. It started with those, and then it eventually started infecting their tools even, which isn't not what you're accustomed to, Suki. You're used to it mostly getting in on plants and animals in your area, but the fact that they're someone reported that their pickaxe completely disintegrated into the dust of what was left of their items. Oh, not you now. All the cats just want to ruin my table. And eventually, though, the last thing it reports is that they had to abandon the mines because one of their mining bots that they have, which is the first time you're oh, there's mining bots, but also one of their mining bots seems to have been infected and started attacking the miners down here, and they had to abandon it for now because they just didn't have the resources to deal with the problem.
Yeah, I think Suki would definitely kind of read that out loud to everyone, just that particular paper about the corruption, and then I would definitely put that in my bag for later to reference.
Yeah.
Well, I hope we don't run into a berserk robot. And I presume this whole time we didn't really find, the ores that Soma and I were looking for?
Not in this area, no. You're still kind of close to the entrance, so you have a feeling you have to go deeper in. There's just a couple of those very small pieces that were in the spider webbing, but
that said, with the notes that that Suki had found, you had said that it kind of told us which areas had the different ores, right?
Yeah, further in for sure.
We at least have an idea of where we need to go for those.
Well, I guess either Soma or Hattori, if Suki lets us see the notes, we'll just follow the notes to see, or towards the area that contains what we're looking for. which might just be down the third path or something.
Yeah, it is down the third, basically.
I think Cloud would be trying to keep Tomoji in check. Like, if he's trying to go ahead or down one of the different paths, she's just, like, grabbing onto him a little bit, just like, no.
All right. I'd like to know a little bit about how you guys are progressing. Like, now that you've decided to hold Tomoji back, are you going to be more cautious? Are you stealthing? Are you, what are we doing?
I feel like you're asking that because we should be. I feel like at least after this combat, like knowing that there are like some creatures, and then having read this, and that there might even be like a, I don't know, crazy robot thing in here, I think we probably would just naturally be feeling like a little creeped and be a little more stealthily moving through.
All right. So I'd like a group leader, and then I'd like a group stealth check.
Between Soma and Hattori, who would be more eager to check out the third path, do you think, Brix?
I'm not sure.
I guess for this time, maybe Hattori could take the lead.
Yeah, I would say Tomoji's probably still too disheveled to want to pay attention. Soma, would probably be interested, but I think is maybe we can just say still dealing with repairs on Mogura. So since Mogura is not really taking point, would be a good time for your character to take point. You know what I mean?
Okay.
All right. So Hattori will be the group leader. Stealth will be Dex plus Dex. And whoever, and I'd like the rest of the group to also roll this, and whoever gets above a 10 will add to Hattori's roll.
Tomoji is unhelpful.
Same. I tried to roll on roll 20 this time. I was like, it's my dice, but then I also just rolled really bad on roll 20.
I actually rolled alright. I rolled 15.
Soma is also not super helpful. Probably still dealing with Mogura, who's probably being a little unruly.
Does anybody have a bond towards Hattori?
I have one with Tomoji and with Soma, I believe.
Yep. So Soma I could invoke a point to try to re-roll one of the dice for Soma.
Yeah, that's also
not
an
wanting
option.
not wanting to cramp Hattori's style here. So I will have Soma spend a Fabula point and go down to 2.
And what is Soma invoking here?
So Soma has an admiration bond with Hattori. So as Soma is very impressed that Hattori went from being very scared to now taking the lead. So Soma wants to make sure that he doesn't do anything to mess up Hattori's chance to shine. So I'll invoke a point and say invoke a bond with Hattori to make sure he doesn't ruin his chance to be brave. And then I have a 1 and a 5, so I'm going to re-roll the 1 on the dex check.
For clarification, a bond, if you're invoking a bond, that adds to the dice roll as opposed to letting you re-roll. Okay. Also, because if Soma has a bond with Hattori, he already adds a +1 to the group check as well. That's why I was asking if anyone had a bond towards Hattori, because it adds the plus.
Gotcha.
Just for clarification. But for invoking to re-roll, it would either be the origin, the
right.
What is it? Your personality or your goals, that kind of thing.
So for this one, it says Soma's theme is passion. To be passionate about what they're doing. So I would say if we wanted to do a 1 reroll, we could say that, well, since Soma's doing repairs on Mogura, Soma's very passionate about making sure that Mogura is in great working condition and is doing his job. So we'll do the reroll saying that Soma digs deep into his passionate engineering and fixes Mogura really fast. So then that way he can focus on being sneaky and not falling behind the group.
Sure.
Maybe.
Also, considering the full thing that they wrote out, passion to create with the rarest, most refined materials, I think that fits for this too. For the sake of like the whole point of this adventure is to find the rare materials, so wanting to succeed in that.
Yeah, I had to expand the character sheet to see that.
Yeah.
The rest of what was there, but that is. So Dex is a D8, so I'm just going to roll 1D8 here. And that's another 5, so 2 5s makes 10. And then with the bond, I guess 11?
Yeah. Well, so the 10 will count, and then the bond adds a +1 to Hattori's roll on top of
Hattori's roll.
The 10 that now, because you guys just need to hit a 10 to give Hattori a +1.
Makes sense.
So,
all right. So that's a 10
right
total.
Now,
so I have a bonus from. I have 1 bonus from Leo. I have
1
2
bonus from Leo.
Soma.
Yeah, and 2
then
from
1
Soma.
bonus from Tomoji from the bond.
Does Tomoji have a bond with you?
Yep.
Like it has to go from Tomoji to you. So does Tomoji have the bond?
Tomoji only has Suki, Korin, and Gaia.
Yeah.
Okay. Then not Tomoji.
Yeah.
So +3, that should be a 13 total.
But 13 is not a bad number at all. So you start taking the lead, and as you are heading out there, you start pointing out like loose rocks to some of your friends and, things like that to make sure they don't step into bad areas, and you guys feel like you're being pretty stealthy and quiet. As you're turning up through this path and you curve to the left, it is a fairly long, ominously dark tunnel. I assume you're kind of covering the lantern just a little bit to sort of make it like one of those slitted lantern ideas, or...
Yeah, and I'm probably towards the back of the group as well. I think I said, so I'm probably in the back. I've got like that hooded lantern kind of a setup in there.
Okay. I would also like, again, if you either Hattori makes this solo an awareness, which would be a double insight roll, or if you want to do it as a kind of group thing as well, I would allow that, but Hattori probably should take the lead since he is leading the stealth mission.
So just a solo double insight check?
Yeah.
8.
So, you are definitely very confident on how quiet you guys are all moving. You're doing such a great job of all of this that it comes to a point where just pointing out all of the things that could make noise, you don't realize when you come across these boards you have to walk over how rotted and not strong to hold your weight they are, and they collapse and break as you fall into a pit. And it does, unfortunately, that does make some noise, but and you would also take how much damage? You'll take 10 damage from the fall as you land harshly on the rocks below. Thankfully, it wasn't like designed to be a spike trap or something. It was just, it's been a long time and these boards have rotted here, so you just landed on some rock and dirt, but you are now about like 20 feet below, and you guys now have this gap that you have to try to cross on top of it all. You do see, though, that it seems to have opened up ahead of this pit into a larger room that also has another pathway that curves to the side, but...
I think frantically, like, Hattori wants to check through the notes if there's like a map or if there's any hint on where he is.
No, they don't necessarily have like, and then you go left, and then you go right. You know, it's more like they've got like the next rooms and everything labeled out. But I will say so far, everything seems to be pretty linear. This isn't so much of a crazy curving mine. It's just that you're stuck in this hole now.
And the hole, what, 10 feet, 20 feet?
20 feet.
20
and
feet
the hole,
just straight down.
Yeah. Well, it probably tumbled through some of the rocks and maybe a little blood as one hit you in the head, you know, but you're not concussed or anything.
Someone would probably be like, Hattori, no! Mogura, go get him! And try to send Mogura down the pit to help. Because it's a digging creature. It probably wouldn't mind going in a hole.
Yeah, do you think Mogura would actually just kind of dig down to get there?
Yeah.
Then
I'd say it would dig down to try to help him.
I think make me a might plus insight for Mogura.
All right. That is a solid 9.
As Mogura is digging down, eventually, of course, it made another hole for everyone to kind of move away from.
A tiny hole.
But eventually, it kind of, at first, it sort of went too far and went forward, and then realized there was more rock, and then kind of had to move that way, and then realized up, and eventually it does find its way over to Hattori.
Hattori, you now have a mechanical mole companion who's sniffing you.
Okay, did the mole, like, dig straight down so I can't climb up of it, or?
Yeah.
Yeah, I imagine it's only a mole-sized hole. But it was just down there to help make sure you were okay, defend you if you were in trouble.
Oh, Mogura, you're here. I'm okay, but I'm stuck.
It would just kind of sniff and crawl in you.
He'll just call out. I was like, I'm okay. I don't know if I could still see them, but...
I think you can see somewhat of the flickering lantern, but unless Leo comes to point it down.
I think he probably would, and like he'll put the lantern over there, and he's also like reaching into his bag and like pulling out the traveler's garb and like trying to tie it together to make a rope of some sort to try and pull him up.
Sure. I mean, I would also argue somebody's probably got rope if you plan to come to the mines, and, you know. But I like the idea that you're wasting the traveler's garb for this, so... Maybe it's just too short and you gotta add a little extra. And you toss a rope down.
Hattori will definitely try to climb up and out of the hole.
Yeah. Make me a Dex plus Might.
Can I help?
How do you help?
Holding onto the other end of the rope and pulling as he's trying to climb up. So, like, instead of him just trying to climb directly up the rope, what he has to do is hold onto the rope and just, like, walk up the side.
I'll just say that gives you, like, an advantage, which in this game gives you a +5, so... That would
be 14 then?
14. Yeah, with that, definitely, especially with Leo helping pull the rope up, you managed to get up to the top again, and now you're all there with your friends. But like I said, you've got this pit of rotten boards ahead of you that you're gonna have to figure out how to cross.
Is there anything like on the ceiling that I could tie the rope to like swing across? Nice stalactite or something?
Yeah, there's a stalactite there. You'll definitely need to make a roll to try to get over to it to try to successfully tie a rope to it, but...
Soma says if we give the rope to Mogura, he could climb up the other side.
That'd be perfect.
So he'd say, you know... I assume if Mogura is capable of tunneling around.
Yeah, I can imagine you can get to the other side. I think for Mogura to figure out how to tie it on the other side to something well, though, let's make it a Dex plus Insight.
All right. So assuming Mogura had the rope and was, crawling it over there, I imagine the easiest thing to do would just be to find maybe the structure on the other side of the bridge or a big rock to just kind of make a circle around.
Yeah.
And then that is just a 6.
So as far as Mogura knows, this is the most sturdy rope, not that it's ever made in its life.
So it'll probably squeak and clatter, indicating that the job's done. Soma probably looks very proud of himself, as he really wants to prove that Mogura is an effective machine.
Proud enough to walk across first?
Probably, yeah, actually. So I'd say Soma would try to go across the rope.
And with that, the rope eventually does let go, and Soma's going to fall down. I will say Soma can make a Dex plus Dex to try to catch on to the other rope, which I'm assuming somebody is holding or tied down, and not take fall damage.
That is a excellent 14 as Soma goes tumbling.
So grabbed onto the rope and kind of, with a 14, honestly, that's a really good roll. Probably is still pretty far up and managed to pull up to safety.
I would say in order to get Soma's, So did Soma make it to the other side or no?
No, it's still with
Okay, so
you
he just
guys.
came back up. He'd say, probably say, well, good try, Mogura. Just to try to play it off that, he made an attempt. You could definitely see his pride might be a little hurt, though.
Anybody else?
How big is this gap?
20, 30 feet or so.
Now, could I potentially climb down one side, walk to the other side, climb up, use the rope?
Climbing up would be difficult, especially because that part of the rope is now fallen into the pit and dragged over to the side since it completely unraveled. But
I have a feeling that Leo's like the type of kid that does like a lot of rock climbing, a lot of like climbing trees to see what's at the very top. So I don't think that that's out of his, like, at least confidence level,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Leo can certainly give that a shot.
Dex and might.
Yeah. Easy enough to climb down. I won't, because you've got the rope, so that's fine. But as you head over, make me that Dex and might.
13 to it?
A 13 is, I'd say, just enough. Yeah, you manage to grab a few footholds. It's a bit tough because it's not like this was designed for, rock climbing in mind. But, you managed to find just the right ones. Probably have to do a little bit of a leap to grab a couple of others. And
definitely, lost a fingernail as he was, trying to, climb up from getting it smashed between a rock or something.
Yeah. And then after, when you're up there with the boards, you kind of have to, maybe take the bunt of your sword and smack them to break them open so that you can get up through the gap on the other side, and now at least you're there.
Hey Mogra, I'm just gonna try this again. Let me get that rope from you and just try and secure the knot.
It just whistles happily, kind of like R2-D2.
I'll give him a little pat.
It goes back to digging.
And you can tie it a lot more securely than Mogura can, for sure. And now at least you guys have a rope across, although I assumed somebody would tie it on your guys' other end, so...
Yeah, I'll probably do that.
And now, how do you guys like to get across? Are you gonna tightrope rock, or are you gonna shimmy?
I think he can try to shimmy across.
And I am
How's
also
Cloud gonna get across?
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. I'm interested in how Cloud is going to manage this.
Tomoji is currently sleeping on Cloud's back. So
I think you just need to build a nice little what do they call them? The little baby bundle things. You have the little strap that goes across and you can just carry.
There you go.
Baby Bjorn, I think they call him.
Yeah.
I think Cloud's a little too big for a Bjorn, though.
it's a big baby.
No, he's fine. Don't judge him.
No, a giant wolf is cool. But have you seen her picture?
Yeah, Cloud is pretty badass.
I assume that could jump, maybe?
I don't know. That's a lot. I mean, Cloud would probably try to do a tight rope across. Tightrope walk across. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And you know how dogs sometimes they can walk with that little literally their paws right in front of each other. So I feel like she'll be doing that. And I guess if Tomoji's on her back, then maybe he'll get across too.
Yeah, he's tuckered out after his spell casting.
All right, I will say for Cloud to do this, I'll get a Dex plus Might from her. It will be a higher DC because of Tomoji on her back.
Oh.
The good thing is cats always land on their feet. I don't know.
What'd you say the roll was again?
Dex plus Might.
Mm-hmm. Ugh, I was hoping it was just one of the ones that was under the rolls section.
Oh, the pre-built ones.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
So as Cloud and Tomoji start crossing, Tomoji, you are completely unaware, but you guys see the paws and the rope really start shaking, and just Cloud cannot keep the balance too well, and eventually starts falling over, and both of them will take 10 damage as they fall onto their butts down below. And I think Cloud whimpers sadly in the dark.
She takes 10 damage?
Yeah.
Alright, she's at 0.
Oh.
Then never mind, Cloud whimpers and you hear nothing.
Tomoji landed on top of Cloud, so landed on a nice fluffy pillow and just kind of rolls off and yawns and curls up into a ball.
He still takes the 10 damage, though.
Yeah. He didn't get hurt in the spider fight, so he still wasn't too damaged at that point. But yeah, he's just curled up and sleeping now. Didn't do anything to help Cloud, though.
How do we get them back?
I'm not entirely sure. How far down is it into this pit?
20 feet.
I mean, and try.
Because I don't think that Tori can climb the rope up and carry Cloud at the same time.
I mean, I feel like Cloud will just have to, like, bite one end of the rope, and we'll have to pull.
Cloud is currently unconscious on the ground.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Cloud is not doing
and
anything.
I still have points that I could get, like, a healing potion out of my bag and get Cloud up. If someone wants to yell loud enough or send Mogura to go wake Tomoji up.
I mean, I feel like I would definitely, hearing Cloud whine, I would definitely be yelling down to you guys, like, are you guys okay? Tomoji?
Yawn. Huh? Where am I?
Cloud fell down the pit. Is she with you?
You hear some, like, just shuffling sound. Yeah! Is she sleeping?
She's not awake?
No.
Do you think you can heal her?
Oh, wait, maybe. And then you just hear, like, a backpack and then, like, a lot of clanging and banging. And then silence and then more clanging and banging. And then eventually Tomoji is like, oh, yeah, I have a potion. Let me deduct my points here for my backpack. And I will attempt to give Cloud a remedy potion.
All right.
You hear him call out, this one tastes like strawberry.
Bit awkward to get it down.
No,
you know,
it's the one that tastes like
unconscious
vinegar. You have the wrong one.
wolf's gullet, but
You just hear Tomoji yell back, no, I just put strawberries in it. So now you don't know what this is going to taste like. Whatever it is probably enough to bring Cloud back from the grave. Vinegar strawberries.
Cloud will heal, but she remains unconscious until the end of the scene due to hitting 0 HP. So
Sure.
at least, so she is still, I think, kind of just stuck in a foggy state that you definitely get the sense she's at least healthy, but still unconscious.
I think Tomoji would yell back up, I think Cloud is still sleepy. If you just throw down a rope, I can tie her on and you can pull her up.
This is more meta knowledge, but you do have a backpack you could try using, or a bag. It holds insects at least.
Yeah. I don't know if Tomoji would think about that. Like, I don't think he would assume that he could fit Cloud in the bag. But yeah, I would say he would offer that if you throw down a rope, he could tie Cloud to it. But then he adds, someone else will have to carry me, though.
Wasn't there already a rope that was dropped down the hole?
I assume
No.
someone on the far side should have a rope, right? Because we fell
So
off the rope.
you guys have a rope that you've been using. That one that fell was still tied up to your side, and then Leo went down and went over and climbed up to get the other attached to the other side. So this is one rope that's across the path at the moment.
I see.
Which, Leo, I think you kind of hear distantly some like pebbles and rocks falling behind you down that other path of the mine shaft, especially with all this shouting and yelling going on.
I think I'm probably taking like a full cover onto the lantern now instead of like.
So it goes completely dark for you guys.
Yeah. And
Are you guys still up there?
Pressed up against the wall, pulling out my sword, and I'm like, shh.
If, like, I could create another rope with inventory points if no one else has one, I guess.
Yeah, I'd allow it.
Soma has lots of inventory points yet, because other than the 3 for fixing Mogura, hasn't really used any yet. So I would say Soma would probably be able to produce a rope to toss down.
I'd say it just costs 1 for a rope.
Okay. Yeah, then Soma would toss a rope down. Soma hasn't crossed yet, though. So Soma's on the wrong side.
The only person that has crossed so far is Leo.
Yeah, so unless we're bringing... I don't think it's a good idea to bring Cloud back up on the near side. We want Cloud to come up on the far side.
Yeah.
So maybe Soma will try to cross the rope and then say, when I get to the other side, I'll drop down a rope for Cloud.
Clarifying point 2, I think Mogura is with me on that side, right?
Yeah. Mogura made it over because he can dig.
I would also like someone to make a Dex and Might roll to get across.
Dex and Might coming up.
DC will be easier than what poor Cloud had to do.
That was an 11.
Yeah, with an 11, however he decides whether it's tightrope walking or shimmying or crawling, he manages to get across the gap and over. Of course, it's a little ominous to be, because it's all black for you at the moment since the lantern got snuffed out. So all he's kind of just shimmying over by feel until eventually he feels the end and crawls up.
Inchworm style. But then on the other side, Soma would toss a rope down to Tomoji to try to tie off Cloud unless something happens in the interim.
No, not at the moment. Does everybody else?
Tomoji would then try to tie Cloud in a way that Cloud could be lifted to the far side.
All right.
Well, if we now have a rope on this side and a rope on that side, should we just drop the tight rope? Climb down, climb back up?
Could do.
You don't hear anything from Leo on the other side at this point. He's probably like pulled Soma into a corner as well and like holding up a finger to his lips and like, quiet.
Soma's new pistol is ready to go.
I think I would look at Hattori and just be like, well, that might be better than risking the fall.
Soma, can you drop the rope going across on your side?
I think you just get another shh, maybe a little bit more loudly from Leo.
Soma probably tied off his end of the rope to something sturdy and then dangled it down for Tomoji to mess with his end.
Hattori wants him to, because there's one rope going across and one that's going down tied.
Oh, you want him to release it? Yeah, he can release this end of the rope that's strung across.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. And then it falls down, but, is still tied on your guys' side, so.
So I think Hattori and Suki will then climb down on our side and then climb back up on their side.
As the rope fell, you hear from somewhere down in the pit, "Ow! What was that?" As it probably smacked Tomoji in the head.
as Leo and Soma now hear a couple of echoing footsteps coming towards them with more noise that keeps happening throughout all of this.
Okay, Cloud is ready. Tomoji calls out, echoing.
Would you say that I would find myself hidden, or is there a better hiding spot that I could find within this area?
Yeah, you can find a spot to hide. Stealth is
Dex, I think.
Yeah, just Dex. So please make me a Dex roll.
15.
Okay, you're pretty fucking sure you're hidden.
Trying to be.
Yeah. And for the ones that still need to cross, I would still like a Dex plus Might, because you're still climbing down and then up another rope, so...
Tomoji has an 8 to crawl up the other side. Nice roll, Hattori.
Damn, Hattori.
He doesn't want to do it again. He got scarred by the first time.
With that, Suki and Hattori, you definitely managed to climb down and up the other side, but Tomoji, I think because you were struggling so much with, trying to make sure that Cloud is like secured and safe and all of that, and it's dark and you're tired, you just want to take a cat nap. You had a good one and now you just want another one. And all of these things that as you start climbing up, you do unfortunately slip, and you won't take the full 10 damage because it was part way up. You'll take 5 extra damage for the fall as you land back down on your butt.
All right, I probably still have some sticky stuff on me, which doesn't help.
Cloud doesn't get further hurt by that, does she?
No, I wouldn't do that to her.
Just already unconscious, falling with the cat.
Yeah,
Stop trying to kill my dog.
Tomoji's probably like trying to push, Cloud up, trying to help. Not. So he'll fall, and he'll land on his butt. Go, ow!
With that ow too, there is a sweeping red light that kind of starts heading from down the path into this room that Leo is hidden in now. It seems to just kind of sweep over, but just another signal that something is hearing all of you. Everybody that's on the other side, besides Tomoji, would definitely see that sweeping red light. You are curved a bit around, so none of you are in the light. You just notice that it comes across.
Definitely think we would be in a hurry to get Tomoji and Cloud up to us now. So I don't know if we can kind of give advantage by, the same tactic that Leo used earlier by pulling up.
Yeah, I would allow that for sure.
I guess Tomoji would crawl, and then since Cloud's tied, then Cloud would be pulled up last, maybe?
Yep. So I think for those trying to pull up, because of the weight of Cloud, I'll need Might plus Might from them.
I guess I could roll too.
Yeah, if you want to help.
And then is Tomoji, Dex, and Might still for climb?
Yes, please.
8 again. Very consistent.
Especially, well, with you get advantage, so that'll be the +5 because you're getting helped
Gotcha.
up.
So 13?
So you get a 13 that you manage to pull up. I think, Suki and Hattori, you were kind of held back with 2 weights on this rope trying to yank it up, but you managed to help get Tomoji up. And with that, as you keep trying to pull Cloud up, you're kind of at this point where you've lifted her somewhat and she's sort of stuck in this like half point, but you just don't have the strength to keep yanking at the moment unless someone else wants to come try to help.
Tomoji would get up to the top and like put his hands triumphantly on his waist like, "Ha, I did it!" Oblivious to the fact that he was helped.
The red light kind of sweeps back across.
Oh, what's that?
You hear some stomping sounds.
How close has the red light gotten to Leo? Has it gone past him yet?
No. I imagine you didn't go towards the sounds to hide, I imagine.
I'm trying to hide I think just so you're aware of what my plan is right here, I'm kind of hoping that it goes past me towards my friends so I can sneak around behind it and get to the other side.
Yeah, so this path that you are trying to get across the pit opens up to this room. And it kind of is a curve as it continues in another hall, which is where the red light is coming from. So you could have hid sort of deeper into this room. So whatever is causing this red light could come and curve around towards your friends, and that would put you behind. Right now, it hasn't done that yet, or we'd be in initiative. So
I'm just making my plan, and I'm completely quiet. I'm hidden in my spot. I am just
yeah. No worries.
You guys don't really know I'm there. I may have disappeared to you as well.
Yeah, for everybody else, you would notice that Leo is gone, but does anyone else want to help Suki and Hattori try to yank up poor Cloud?
I mean, Suki would just straight up boss them at this point and be like, Tomoji, Soma, grab on.
Yep. Soma would definitely jump in.
I'd like might plus might rolls for him.
Might. So Soma will end a 12. Tomoji is like, huh? Oh, okay. And he probably won't be as helpful. You got a 7.
Still between getting Soma's help and Suki, both of you, and the others are helping too, but mostly the 2 of you finally managed to give that extra pull that you needed to get Cloud up over the ledge, and probably a little whimper, but otherwise still just kind of passed out from the fall.
It's fine,
Tomoji
as long
cheers.
as she's not. Hey, thank you, everyone.
And with that, thump, 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 as you all are approached by a mining bot that has gone insane and has this giant red glowing light as it all emerges out of the other pathway. And you see this rusted rot that is growing on it that looks very much like what Suki is used to seeing. And I would like everybody to make their initiative rolls. Again, please pick a group leader for it and then roll your initiative.
Well, Leo's the only one who had a plan, so...
Yeah, I don't know that I would be necessarily the group leader, though, in this instance, because I'm not necessarily with the group, you know what I mean? I'll take it, though, if you guys don't want it, but...
Just for clarification, too, it is just the leader of the role, you know what I mean? Like, so it doesn't necessarily... But...
Yeah.
It's up to you guys.
I know statistically, I think Hattori rolls the highest for Dex and Insight, but we've just been playing it as like, oh, who's actually going to be the leader?
Yeah.
Well, I would say since Mogura is down the hall with Leo and Leo is hiding, I'm going to say Mogura goes into combat ball mode and rolls out in front of the stomping mining bot and like pops out and like makes all of his little like, plates and antenna and everything stick out and he hisses at it. And he's going to take the lead on attacking the mining bot.
I would say then with this, that would mean Soma's role will be the leader of this, not necessarily Magura, since Magura just acts on Soma's command. So,
Gotcha.
I would like everyone to roll initiative, which is Dex plus Insight, and we will add your bonuses towards Soma. And if I don't know if bonds work towards that.
He'll yell out, Mogura, get him!
That wasn't a crit fail, was it?
No.
No, it wasn't.
You get 2 Fabula points.
Yeah, for a failure, you get a Fabula point.
It's true.
Yeah.
And this bot gets an opportunity.
And then last but not least, Soma's roll
It's going to take a bond? No.
is an 8.
I got a 9 for my initiative.
What did you get?
A 9.
Okay.
So it seems like the
Soma
mining
gets-
monster might have caught us flat-footed here. But Mogura still stands off against it, resolute. David and Goliath.
Actually, believe it or not, you guys still take the lead. It's not super high, so yeah. I think due to the fact that Magura is the one for flavor that ran out to do this, maybe Soma goes first. If no one else argues.
I'm going to say that Soma's just going to command Mogura to battle ball. So rolls up into a ball and charges straight at the mining bot. And takes the guard action. Unfortunately, I don't think there is anybody around to guard.
Since it is all more theater of the mind, I would allow it to be like, I don't know, like it's just kind of in between this machine and whoever it wants to protect. But that's...
Yeah, I'll say that I guess since Soma was the one commanding it, it'll dive in between it and Soma, and it'll guard Soma.
I think it'll just take advantage. Oh, which is only a +4 bonus, so I've been giving you guys an extra one. Oh well, that's because you're the party and my favorites. Alright, after it takes the guard, it's going to suddenly just like rush over, and who's it gonna hit? Gonna try to hit Soma.
All right.
Who did Magura try to protect?
He tried to protect Soma since Soma was the one that commanded him.
So it'll attack Magura as Magura jumps in front of its way, and does a 13 hit Magura? Oh, sorry,
It
a
does.
10. A 10.
Yeah, defense 8.
6s and 9s, you know. It will then take 20 points of physical damage, and it is slowed.
Bam!
As this
It
thing
gets a
just
nasty hit.
reels up and gives it a good punch.
Looks like it might have broken one of Mogura's legs.
And that will be its turn.
I think Leo's using this opportunity to not get to the far side of the chamber, but basically like have this thing in between him and his friends. So they're on one side, he's on the other side, this thing is in the middle. And as he's kind of running back to that other side, you just see this giant crackling purple bolt of lightning just come from behind and hit this thing in its blind side.
Yeah.
That is a 11 to hit.
I will give you a bonus to it due to the fact that you were stealthed really well and it had no idea you were there. But either way, I'll say the bonus will be a +2, so 13 to hit, and that will definitely hit it.
Right, so that's going to be 31 damage then.
As lightning strikes out towards it, because you said it was lightning, right?
Yeah.
You notice that with the metal in it, it seems to catch more and kind of fry and frazzle its systems more as it takes extra damage from lightning. Since it is vulnerable. So, vulnerable is double. 62 damage. And because it is a special wild crazy machine, it gets another turn. And it
crazy and wild.
Yeah. Now that it got hit by lightning, it does not like that, and it turns around to pop Leo now that it knows it's there. It rolled really bad. I don't think a 6 hits you, does it?
No.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, it just got so frazzled that it doesn't do anything and misses as you hop back and it hits the wall next to you instead, crumbling stone next to you. Party, what would you like to do?
I have a question. Oh.
Yeah?
Go ahead.
As a, where is it? Tinkerer? Like the first Magitech thing says, you can use an action and spend 10 mind points to choose a construct that does not possess independent intelligence and is suffering from one or more status effects. If you do so, the enemy recovers from the status and the game master reveals the profile, and during that action, I may force the creature to immediately perform an action of my choice. Does this have independent intelligence?
Well, I think normally, no, it wouldn't as a mining bot. However, considering that it seems to be corrupted by this weird shit growing all over it, and it is outright attacking all of you, I think that you can put together, maybe it's not exactly, reading books and doing mathematical equations, but I think you can gather that it seems to be independent and having it, its own thought process.
Sure. I think, Hattori will be attempting that, figuring out or being puzzled why it's not working, and then Suki can take her turn.
All right. I think it's seen maybe the lightning being extra effective. She's gonna cast Awaken on Tomoji, and it's going to make your insight go up 1 die size. So whatever it already is, it goes up 1 to a maximum of D12.
I guess it goes up to D12 then. You see Tomoji's little ears suddenly, all his fur starts poking up in every direction. He's like, "Oh, I feel weird."
All right. Would Tomoji like to do something now that happened?
Yeah, I would say, seeing as he's now been electrically charged, he's gonna just kind of take his wand and spin around in a big circle and say, "Don't hurt Mogura, you bad machine!" And then, bam! I'm gonna do Fulgor this time. It is an AoE spell, but I can just do it single target. Mm-hmm. So it will just be 10 mana, and I will have... So if I have a boosted insight, it's going to be a D12 and a D10. That's a 3 and a 5 for an 8. So 8 magic against the mechanical creature.
So it seems like you unfortunately hit it in a way that it got grounded through the, and it didn't actually manage to do any damage as it resisted your attack.
He says, darn. And that's his shot. And my mana goes down by 10.
All right. That leaves Hattori.
I think for now, Tori will just try to shoot it once with his cannon.
Make me that attack roll.
10.
You see, as it's made out of thick metal, too, it seems like the bullets kind of just bounced off to the side and didn't manage to penetrate the armor.
Dang, rocks don't work against metal.
That'll bring us to the top of the round. Who would like to go first?
I think if Leo saw that his, lightning was so effective, I think he'd probably try and cast that again and just keep that bolt of energy almost going. I can picture instead of it like going out, it almost just like continues, 15?
Yeah, that'll hit.
Alright, so that's gonna take 33.
So it actually takes 66. And it is definitely in crisis now, and as it seems like this lightning just frazzles it more, and it's almost like it's frying its circuits, and it seems to be also charged with its own energy as it's kind of hitching and glitching out now. It's gonna go again and again to pick on Leo because it does not like getting hit with lightning. It's going to strike. Does a 13 hit you?
Yeah.
Okay. You take 22 physical damage and are slowed. Party, what would you like to do?
If no one else has anything, I would like to try... Actually... Okay, yeah. I'd like to try using alchemy.
Ooh.
So... I spend 3 inventory points, and I roll 2 d20s to see what the potion does.
Very cool.
Cool.
Okay. I will assign 15 to the target, so this potion will affect everyone. And then I will use the any die effect so that everyone recovers 30 hit points.
Oh, wow. Very
Nice.
cool.
So I think he will pull out a bottle and stick it into whatever the dispenser on his backpack is and just throw it in the air, and it'll make like a mist, or it'll emit like a vapor that'll just help everyone recover.
Nice. Would that affect Mogura as a construct or no? I don't know.
It says the potion affects you and every ally present on the scene. So
I mean, I'd allow it because Mogura is more of a it's the Wayfinder thing, so we're
Right,
just
yeah.
kind of flavoring how it's getting fixed,
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I imagine it has some little life force matrix in it, and healing magic would work. It is a fantasy setting.
All right. Now it's gonna go and it's gonna try to punch at Leo again. Oh, well, that's a crit. Yeah, so it definitely hits you for 24 physical. And I think for its ability, it's as it hits you so hard, it kind of slams you into the wall. And again, the rocks around it almost splattered, like that hit was just so hard that a lot of the rocks in the wall kind of break and fall, and it seems like you see through the rocks more of that creeping disease, and it starts actually hovering and shaping as these rocks gather together to become little possessed elementals to help it in its fight.
Whoa.
So, 2 little elemental chaos shards appear, but they're rock flavored. But that is its turn. Party, what would you like to do?
Well, I think Timoji's definitely still got all of his fur and his ears and his whiskers and everything all static electricity, so we're going to do Fulgur again. Even though the other elemental chaos shards are rock flavored, I still think that he'd use electricity because the big meanie is still the problem. So he'll say, "Quit picking on my friends, you big meanie!" and shoot an even bigger lightning blast this time. I will do all 3 targets for 30 mana. And that is a 14 on magic.
That will hit all of them.
And we are looking at 25 electric damage each. And I will reduce my mana.
Right. So, luckily enough, the Chaos Shards automatically go into Crisis for you guys. And this big bot is like looking really fucked up. Also, I said that last hit was physical. I'm sorry, it's bolt now because it went into Crisis mode. It becomes bolt damage. So as it punched you into the wall, it was like electricity was charging into you from it. Alright, so that is Timoji. That'll bring us to one of the shards that does not like what happened to it, and it will fire an attack towards Timoji.
Alrighty.
D8 plus D10. Does a 10 hit you?
Yep. If it's physical, I have a 12 magic, 7 physical.
It is magical.
I have a 12 magic defense, so this time
So.
I got away.
Alright, so pew, and you managed to duck out of the way. Party, what would you like to do? We've got Soma, Hattori, and Suki left.
I have a quick mechanical question. Is that Chaos Shard a beast, monster, or plant creature?
Elemental.
elemental, so that wouldn't work for any of our spell mimic options as Chimeras, would it?
I believe it still does. No, wait, I don't think it does, unless you take a special thing, which happens later. So yeah, no.
Oh, just wanted to clarify what
Its little bolt
type
dart
this
attack
was.
anyway wasn't a spell. It was just its little basic attack it has. So, party. What would you like to do?
I heard my name get mentioned, but I think our Hattori already took a turn this round.
I think it's just Soma left, right? Or Soma and Suki.
Oh, did he? Sorry,
Yeah.
my bad. Soma and Suki then.
Suki can go. I think that just from her staff, you might see like it's almost like a grenade. Like she launches like this little small, like I want to say like a dark green orb, but when it lands on the ground by, I'm trying to do like the big mechanical thing. When it lands on the ground by it, it kind of like explodes into this like more like gas. And I'm casting Forebelch, which I learned from the Shroomkins.
Very cool.
That's 14 to hit them.
All right, that hits. It is.
Oh, it's just the one
Forebelch.
creature, sorry.
And you're doing the big guy.
Yeah.
It is. Okay. Sorry, just thinking. He's actually immune to poison, so unfortunately that won't
Darn
work.
machine.
Yeah, but don't think he'll get dazed then if he's immune to poison, because I feel like the reason they gain dazed is due to the poison.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So,
Makes sense to me.
yeah, sorry.
This is not Suki's day.
With that makes the one of the other elementals go, and it shoots another little chaos dart over towards. I'm just gonna roll a d10. Oh, towards Leo. Sorry, Leo. Does 16 magic damage hit you?
Definitely not.
I don't believe you.
Answered a bit too quickly.
You take earth damage. Sorry. I should tell you how much. 13 earth damage, and it makes you weak.
Yeah, you definitely see that Leo's past that crisis point at this point for sure.
Even after the heal?
Oh yeah, and then I got hit up against the wall for 30 damage almost.
Yeah.
Like immediately after the healing, so
It's okay. Leo
not
wants to
looking
live
great.
Leo wants to live in crisis, doesn't he?
Wants, I think, is a strong word. Needs.
So, last but not least, I think even though Mogura got healed, I would still say Soma is maybe trying to provide some cover fire for Mogura to give him a little bit of breathing room against the bigger machine. So I think he's going to try out this new pistol. I just copied over everything, so this is going to be a ranged shot with Dex and Insight. That is going to be a 9 to hit.
Are you trying to hit the machine or one of the
The big
elements?
machine, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Unfortunately, with a 9, it also, much like what happened with poor Hattori, bounces
little
off
thick.
its that metal armor body.
Soma curses out loud.
That does bring us to the top of the round, though, and the party still take initiative, so.
How is everyone looking health-wise?
Looking fine for the ones I have. I think only Leo's bad right now.
Okay.
I like to imagine after it pulls its fist back, Leo falls like from that punch with blood just spewing out of his mouth.
Yeah, I'm like holding on to the wall for support and then just being hit with that earth damage. Like I'm almost to the floor, but not there yet.
Yeah. Okay, I definitely think at seeing that, Suki will cast heal, and I'll just target you. So you recover 40 hit points.
Alright, that brings us back to the mechanical monstrosity. Sorry to keep targeting you, Leo, but you did most damage to it, so it sees you as the highest threat, and it does a 13 hit you. So it will do 23 damage, bolt damage, as it once again just keeps trying to punch you into the wall. That's the party's turn.
Does spending inventory points take your action on there?
Yes.
Okay. Then I think for Leo, he just probably, as he's just getting pummeled up against this wall over here, he doesn't have as much of that same energy that he did at the beginning. He's getting towards that tapped out point, but he is just trying to throw everything he can at this thing, and he's got just one spell that he can use left, and that's that Fulgur. So instead of targeting the 3 creatures, he's just targeting the big guy, and trying to take him down. And that's a crit with a 6 and a 6.
Nice.
Alright, with a crit, first of all, you get an opportunity, but how do you want to take out this big creature?
Refresh my opportunity options again.
It is a pinned message in the chat.
Too, yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
It's if you hit the pin on top in the general channel, or and Yugal just linked it too.
I did get it from the pin, so.
And
So
I
when it
just
says-
snagged it randomly offline.
When it says add an emotion to one of your existing bonds, could I potentially build on my one that I have with Suki already? And since she healed me, I'm taking that and I think I've got admiration there already. So maybe I'm thinking maybe an affection, just because it's, you're taking care of me. I don't ever really have people take care of me.
Well,
Yeah.
that
I
would be good
appreciate
work
you
too.
healing me, because you're the first person to ever do that for me instead of somebody else,
Yeah,
Yeah.
I love that. I think that's great. Add affection to Suki.
Awesome. And that would be 21 damage if you needed the damage still.
No, because it only had 1 HP left. So how do you want to explode this thing with your lightning, your chaos purple lightning?
So I think he's stumbling off the wall. He just got healed up, then he got punched again, and so I think he's just stumbling towards this thing, and just as he's walking forwards, he just sends out this burst of that purple crackling lightning, and it hits this thing, and I think it just kind of expands from its chest outward, and you just see all of that electricity running through it as it starts to lock up and shut down, and as it locks, it falls over and just crashes to the ground with a very, very loud sound.
Yeah, and then you hear that shutdown sound that as the light starts flickering off. Of course, its light was kind of lighting up this place, so now it goes dark, as you still have 2 cursed elemental shards in this room. And they're going to take their turn now after Leo's. One of them spits out towards Hattori. No, I gotta get back to the page. There we go. I think I'm going to give it a little bit of a bonus since now it's completely dark in here. Does a 13 hit you, Hattori?
Yep.
You take 13 earth damage and you are weakened. Party, what would you like to do?
I think Tomoji is going to try to brighten it back up in here and hit the remaining ones with some lightning. He'll probably yell out, "I want to go back to sleep!" and shoots a lightning bolt. Because he's just like a grumpy toddler. He just needs to go back to sleep. So 2 targets, so I will deduct down 20 more mana. And the magic check.
They are going to get a little bit of a bonus to defense because it is pitch black before the spell goes off, you know?
Right. It's 11 magic for each.
Unfortunately, because it was dark, yeah, you hit just next to them instead. And I feel like also the metal bot sort of, you know, how lightning tends to try to get to metal, you know, whatever it can go down to the ground fastest. It absorbed one of them, and yeah, unfortunately, you do not hit.
Well, hopefully he at least got it bright enough that somebody else could locate them. Because there's at least a brief flash of light.
Before that, one of them gets to go. And it's going to hit after Soma. I don't think a 7 hits Soma.
Soma's physical and magic defense is 9.
Yeah, so despite the fact that it is so dark in here, it rolled so bad that Soma ducks, just gets that feel of magic starting to come towards it, and ducks as it hears a rock smack against the wall next to him. That brings us to the party. We have Soma and Hattori left. Again, there is a covered hooded lantern that one of you could uncover if you want to get some light, but...
Do I have to wait for my turn to do that?
Yes.
I don't think Hattori can do much with his gun. Like, he wasn't able to shoot the big one earlier, so he might just spend his turn looking for the lantern to turn it on, or to remove the hood.
All right, yeah. Make me an insight. Unfortunately, with a 6, I don't think you... Because you wouldn't know where Leo left it, so unfortunately you are stumbling around in the dark trying to find it.
Lastly, Mogura, who is generally blind anyway, doesn't really feel bothered by it, but will try to jump out and make a melee attack. It is slowed still, so this is with the debuffed... Oops, that's the wrong button. The debuffed dexterity. Just a 6.
Unfortunately, a 6 will not cut it.
Still limping from that big smash it got on it, even though technically it's healed. Narratively, still limping.
Alright, that's the top of the round. The party still gets to go first.
I think I'll uncover the lantern that I've still got in my hand.
Suddenly, you guys can see. I'd give that a free action considering.
Cool. And I think you guys probably wouldn't see this at first. It almost looks like he's just drawing his sword, but then if you look a little bit closer, you'll notice that there's like blood running down his back as well from where he had just cut himself. And I'm gonna do 3 damage to myself. which coincidentally does put me into crisis.
Funny. Living in crisis.
And then I want to make an attack on one of these guys, and that's an a 12 to hit.
Yes, a 12 will hit.
Right, so that is going to do... Hold on, let me just make sure my math is right here, because I may have made a math error last time. So this is going to be 2 plus 3, so that's going to be 5 dark damage. And then it's going to be... Oh, math... 18 slashing for physical damage. So a total of 23 as I cut myself, but also reach out to cut the nearest rock elemental.
As you do, you seem to actually carve into some of this stone, especially because it has this weird, like, disease sort of stuff that makes it more brittle, and it cuts a huge chunk of its rock form away, and now it's just kind of a limply, barely floating couple of fist-sized rocks left, as most of it is destroyed on the ground. Alright, that was Leo. Now it's going to honestly probably attack you for that. I don't think a 4 hits you, though, so what would the party like to do next?
Seeing as Shmogura's kind of still malfunctioning a little, I think Soma can just take a quick pot shot as the creature is distracted. So, pistol again?
Sure.
Did it roll?
Apparently this is not Soma's fight either, as a 6 does not hit.
Was that this roll or was that the old one? Because that was
this roll.
The
last one was Mogura. Yeah.
Oh,
so
okay.
This one
Gotcha.
hit.
Right.
Rolled.
Yeah. Normally it makes like a beep sound, but I didn't hear it this time. All right, so bang. So you see Soma kind of looked at the pistol like, how do you use this thing?
With that, the other one is going to attack Hitori, apparently. Does a 15 hit for magic?
Yes.
You will take 15 earth damage as it throws a rock towards you, and you are weak.
I think Hitori's also in crisis now.
Party. We have Tomoji, Hitori, and Suki left.
I think I was the first to go.
No, that was last round.
Oh, right.
Leo was
My
the
bad.
first this round.
Tomoji,
you're right.
I have one more spell in me before I'm out of magic, so I will do 2 pot shots with Fulgur. Let's see here. And I'm still empowered by Suki's spell. Let's see. Where is my magic? 15 on magic.
Yeah, 15 will do it.
23 each. Electric. Crack!
Alright. One that was just a handful of like little bits of smaller rock just completely explodes into like pebbles and dust. The other one is now set down to being just a couple of floating rocks trying to hold themselves together. That leaves Hitori and Suki.
Which one is the one that's left? Who's
Just-
it in front of?
Kind of just around, since they're spitting at things. The one that
All right.
Leo really fucked up, that one's completely destroyed now, so this one's sort of just hovering vaguely in between all of you.
All right. I think Suki's just gonna run in and I'm just gonna whack it with my staff.
Hell yeah.
So that is a 10.
10 will hit.
And that's all right. And then that is 11 damage.
All right, and that's all you needed with that hit.
Casting spells.
You whack it with your staff, and it disintegrates into dust and pebbles, and all the rocks just collapse as it no longer can keep itself up.
Nice.
And that takes us out of combat. And as you are all hurt, and I know we are kind of a little bit over in time here, I will say you all get the opportunity to now kind of patch your wounds and heal yourselves as best as you can with whatever remaining resources you would like to spend on that. And sort of take a bit of a breather, and as you then finally go down further past this particular curve in the walkway, you eventually seen where the main mine is, and there are veins of the different types of metals and things like that in the walls, and some of them crumbled up on the ground, and you can take your time now to sort of get whatever rare metals and minerals that you needed from here, and make your way back outside. And probably exhausted, still sore from everything that you've done, you manage to make your way back to town. And that is where we will end for today, and we will pick up tomorrow as you guys arrive back in town to either choose to keep all of this or deliver it to the person who hired you, who obviously did not put up enough money as far as you're concerned for how dangerous and terrifying this was.
If only we had went after the dragon. Just saying.
Yeah.
We don't have to answer it now, but was there anything interesting on the machine?
You probably could pull off some of the plates and gears and knickknacks from there. As tinkerers, I think you and Soma would find a lot of interesting little things. We can touch base more on that next week, and I would say a lot of this stuff can help lower the cost of your project of making the demon dowsing machine that you want, as well as some of these minerals you picked up. So you probably are going to get a nice big discount on what you need to spend on this. So, which I will figure all out next week.
Cool souvenir rocks from the mine, but none of them are actually like the valuable rocks. It's just like rocks he thought had cool shapes.
Yeah, I love that.
We got some like pyrite or whatever, like the
anything that like sparkles but isn't actually worth anything. But it's a souvenir of our time together.
I think Leo's asking Hattori and Soma if there's any like rocks here that are good for making armor.
I'm not sure if Hattori would be familiar with, like, forging, right?
I imagine Soma probably would comparatively.
Probably. I'd say some of that plating off of the mining bot, you definitely could probably... Soma might think about turning some of that into armor.
I can message Amarin and let her know, and then she can ponder that for next time, because she will be here.
Yeah, at the very least, like, even if you guys can't help me with it, I want to try and take it into town and see if somebody else can make it into armor for me, or maybe go and visit Pearl.
Yeah, at the very least, I think Hattori would be able to say, like, oh, that one's tough. Oh, this one's not. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm going to add, like, a collection of metal plates to my inventory, if that's cool.
Yeah, I'm down for that. You guys took the time for all of that. No worries. And it would be based off of basic armor, just so you know. So I
just want something a little bit more than my combat tunic.
Yeah, that's fair. Definitely wouldn't be a robe. I'd probably say it's, you could turn it into a bronze plate.
Is that in that first book?
Yeah, on page 132, bronze plate.
Obviously, it's not going to happen right away, but...
No, it would take some time. But yeah, you could definitely say you've got some of those prepared for that. Yeah. I love that Tomoji just waltzed into this like whole spider combat and then didn't learn his lesson and just waltzed away.
He didn't see any spiders. He just didn't like the sticky stuff touching his fur. And then he got woken up from a nap by a robot and smashed it with his buddies because that's rude and he wanted to go back to sleep. Then he found a shiny rock and went home. That's the adventure in the mind of Tomoji.
If Tomoji was writing the recap,